So in this video, I'll be talking about how to convert, your product description or product brief into an actual design on your Figma. So what we did in the last video is we converted a product story into this, which is a description of application, basically not just the application but all the screens and the content. Actually, what we have here is not even, I think, did I actually request for a content inventory? So there's something called a content inventory, okay, which essentially outputs the all the content of individual screen, and that's what we got in the last video. For those of you who want to know how to get to this kind of scale, we've already talked about that in the previous video, so I request you to go check that out. Now, Figma recently released a new feature which essentially allows you to start, as opposed to starting from scratch. You can use Figma's built-in feature to sort of create screens using AI prompts. So what I'm going to do is you need to go check out the description that it's given for every single screen and see if that's okay or if it's something that you're looking for. Now what I have done is I'm going to go ahead with this just for the sake of tutorial, but for those of you who are not happy with this, try to go ahead and describe if what you have is not right. Again, the more you refine the story from the beginning, the better the results are going to be. The more methods, like for instance, the more real life data you gather, the more realistic and the less cliche the output is going to be. Now I'm not doing the actual design thinking process here. That's going to be, I hope to produce a video series which essentially talks about the whole design thinking process using AI. But as of right now, we're not going to do that. So what I'm going to do now is, with all of this content here, I want to take these screens into Figma. Now remember, Figma's AI is like very early into the time. Now Figma, at the time of you watching this video, might be way better than right now. Maybe ChatGPT is able to produce all of the screens in of itself. I don't know, but I still think that Figma is still better for design. Now here's the key point of this whole video, okay? Try not to design everything on GPT. My reason for that is things like software tools, like for example Final Cut, Adobe Premiere Pro, or Figma, or I don't know, whatever tools you're using, like a CAD. Okay, these tools, when they introduce AI, what they're doing is they are building on top of years of development of the core element that they've been working on, which is Figma's design tool is great, right? So putting AI on top of that is just going to make a lot better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the thinking from GPT and take Figma from there, right? Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say Figma. I want you to generate Figma AI prompts for each and every screen. Now, do you want to define the design of things? You can kind of do that, like the style and aesthetics, but I don't usually do that. The reason is because what Figma gives you by default, at least at this point in time, is essentially getting all the elements down, like the wireframing part. But if you want to style that in a particular way, as of right now, it doesn't do a really good job there. So you can see for every single one of the screens is doing it's giving me the prompts like this. It's really cool, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the most important screens, maybe something like the dashboard. Okay, so let's take maybe the So okay, so onboarding, you have all of the screens. I'm going to take one of the screens here, one of those prompts here, and show you how it looks like on Figma. Although you can use some other tools, and look, here's the thing, right? So there are lots of AI tools, like for instance, presentation tools that actually have AI built into it. But I suggest using ChatGPT to do all the reasoning and then take the output from here and then put that on to your whatever tool you're using. A presentation, use that presentation. If it's an animation, use that animation. There are tools out there that can actually help you make videos using AI. That's not impossible. But do all the reasoning here. Do all the better prompt creation here. Don't do it in there. All right. There's also ways you can actually ask it to copy your style. So if you write a simple document and tell it, hey, copy my style and tone, it will actually copy your style and tone as well, as opposed to using that typical AI tone. But for now, in this project, it really doesn't matter much. Now let's take this Figma. Let's take this prompt as one screen of the tens of screens that is generated now. I'm going to take one of these screens and let's go to Figma now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click on what's called as first draft. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste that. Okay, it's not going to take every single instruction. That's okay, but let's do trial and error. Remember, this is in beta, so it's not going to be as good as maybe much later. So let's create the first draft of the app, one of the screens. Okay, I'm going to show you two screens, but I think you can get the idea as you go. So okay, there you go. It takes the the concept of green, because the name of the app is Green Fields, right? So it's taking the color green from it, and then it's producing all of that. Now, is this exactly exactly as I imagined it? Maybe, but I don't like notifications down there. But it's dashboard, so I think it's fine. Okay. Now, what I can do is I can change the style here. Okay. You can see how it looks, right? So I like this kind of style. Now I can also add icons. I think it's still generating on the background, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, okay, no. Okay. So I can change it to the typical iOS colors. Right, I'm gonna keep it like this because I think this is more like how I imagined it to be, but I want the icons coming up, so I'll do that later. But for now, let's just try to build the rest of the screen. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, before I move on to the other screens, I'm just show you what you can do with making changes to this. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Recent here, go to prompts. Okay, I'm gonna say something like this. Okay, add icons to the tabs below and give me warmer background color. The grammar or English or the capitalization really doesn't matter at this point in time. And profile pictures and people uploading posts should be humans. What I mean by that is this particular thing where it says green fields. Okay, I want that to actually be like real people uploading. Let's see if it's able to understand that. Okay, it's just changed the photos of the actual thing, but I wanted to change this part. Anyways, I think it didn't get that perfectly down, but I think it got the icons and the background color. You can go ahead and make it more, add more changes to this, but I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to go ahead and add another screen here. Let's go ahead and add maybe another screen. So let's say make an image, or let's just say let's make another first draft. I'm going to add this here, the screen here. Let's go ahead and add the screen right there, and it's going to design the screen. Okay, now this isn't perfect. You can see that it's giving me 2 searches. That's definitely a problem. But I go here, now it's becoming slightly a bit closer to this, but I have to just say give me warmer colors and I can match that up. But this is, I mean, like, this is just assuming that this is the first screen, which is not correct, but that's okay. I can start customizing this and bringing this closer to this. This is just to play around and show you what is possible. Trust me, this is really just to show you what is possible, right? This is, I mean, like, this is the tip of the iceberg. Things are going to get more interesting from here. Figma is going to get more powerful. ChatGPT is going to get more powerful. So you should be able to generate a lot more crazy stuff much before all of this begins. But I think this goes to show you, the series of videos goes to show you how you can generate something that is more closer to your ideas, which is to talk to GPT and produce as many things as possible and then get closer to your ideals, as opposed to just going to any of the UI design tool that has AI feature on it and then just asking it to generate the whole application within it, which I think is, maybe possible in a couple of years, but I think AI is still going to require more context if you're going to work on serious projects as opposed to just tech demos. Like, these look cool, I know, but then you can't really you cannot really take this and use as your like a real project, because you still have to know Figma to modify this. All right, it's not matching at all. Like, if you can look at this is an Android icon set. How do I turn this into iOS? Yeah, kind of. You do have this, you can turn this into an iOS icon set pretty easily, but I think it's still, nevertheless, it's not perfect. You can see so many issues. Even if things are going to get better, it's still far from it. So you still need to know the UI design fundamentals. Things are only going to get a lot faster here. You can see how quickly you're able to go from an idea to that. Maybe sometime into the future, I'll make a structured video series on how to use this by employing design thinking and using it for your proper design, design process and design work. Until then, I hope this video was useful. I hope to see you in another video pretty soon. Thank you guys for watching.